Hey everyone, Ben from Postfly here. Today we're tying this October Caddis fly pattern, which is already well into play this season. With plenty of foam and bushy hackle, this one rides high and is a blast to fish. It's proof that the big bugs don't go away just yet as the season starts winding down. We're going to start by making the extended foam body for this fly. Secure a long, sturdy sewing needle in your vise point out, and slide on one orange foam strip at its midpoint. With your non-bobbin hand, fold the two ends down against the needle. Then carefully pin your thread against the foam and take a few wraps to create your first segment. It's also worth mentioning that I'm using the orange side of the thread here. Take tight wraps to really pinch the foam in, continuing to hold the foam so that it doesn't spin. Then you can snip your thread's tag. Next, pull up both ends of the foam and temporarily fold them over and under the needle point. Bring your bobbin off the area of your first wraps and onto the bare needle. Then lay the foam ends down again over where your thread now hangs. Take wraps to create a second segment of equal size. Bringing the bobbin in between the foam strips and after each segment hides the movement of your thread, creating evenly spaced wraps you see on the body. Repeat this process 5 to 7 more times, depending on how long you're making your segments. The result should look something like this. At the last section, make a few turns with your whip finisher, then snip your thread. Carefully slide your body off of the needle, and we're ready to go to the rest of the fly. Now secure one of your hooks in the vise. I'm using the larger size 8 hook here for better visibility. Using your brown thread now, tie in behind the hook eye and take wraps so that your bobbin hangs another eye or so above your hook point. Here we'll tie in our extended body. Measure it up so that it extends almost another hook shank in length past the bend of the hook. Lay both foam tag ends down and start tying in. Get as much of the foam tag surface area on the shank as you can. This will prevent it from spinning. You can also put a little drop of glue here to help. When you get to just behind the hook eye, snip the remaining foam tag, then continue binding it down to the shank as tight as you can. Lash it to the hook well and keep it compact. Next we'll do the same thing with our brown foam strip. Cut the strips from your kit in half. Each half can be used for one fly. Line it up so that one end hits just where the extended body separates from the shank. Do the same tight tie-down process up to the hook eye. The result should be these two foam pieces layered and sandwiched down on top of each other, with a somewhat thick coverage of thread. I like leaving the tag of my brown foam on for now, as it's easier to manipulate while it's long. Next, grab a healthy clump of deer hair. Pick out the fuzz in shorter strands, then stack to align the tips. Tie in so that the hair tips reach to the length of your extended body, and give it a few good wraps to splay them out across the top of the shank. Ensure that the deer hair stays above the shank and doesn't spin around. Then go to work with your scissors, cutting all of the tags as short as you can. Now we'll add a short, prickly hackle fiber. Make sure you use the correct size for your hook. For example, I'm using the longer fibered size 12 for my larger size 8 hook. Tie it in tip first just in front of your deer hair, with the rest of the feather rearward. Then advance your thread to just behind the eye and begin following in close wraps with the hackle. Try to keep all of the fibers in this body section standing as straight as possible. The wraps are also not as tight as they look. The fibers do a decent job of filling in the gaps. When you reach your thread, tie off and snip the rest of the feather free. Now give your brown foam tag a slight lift and bring your thread in front of it. Grab your whip finisher and carefully make a few turns at this section, then snip your thread. Now I'll shape the head with my scissors, cutting it so that it barely goes past the hook eye and angles off at the corners. I'm also going to snip a couple of out-of-place fibers short. Don't worry too much about getting all of these down. Your October caddis is now good to go. Keep an eye out for these on the water. You won't ever see them in large numbers, but they are a big meal and the fish know they're there. I also have a lot of luck fishing these in faster, heavier riffles where fish must think fast and smaller dries can't stay afloat. Happy fall, and thanks for watching.